Larry always liked the quote, Woody Guthrie quote, any darn fool can get complex, but it takes a genius to attain simplicity. One thing about Larry's songs was what I often describe as an elegant simplicity. And it's very hard to write a song where when people walk away, they're whistling it moments later or the next day. And doggone if Larry didn't have that. I always I always told myself after sitting around the table with him, if I could write one song that has that kind of catchiness, I guess I would be satisfied. And I've been trying ever since. And yet to not judge Larry because there was some real complexity that was the foundation of his music. But I think that simplicity in his lyrics, would you guys agree? There's a real simplicity.
He was very direct. He wasn't making allusions or anything. He was straightforward. Yeah.
But not necessarily in the chords. I mean, songs like I'm a Little Cookie and other ones that are very popular and everybody knows, kind of 1, 4, 5 chords songs are pretty simple in their accompaniment. But we're working on one of the songs we're going to do is Come On Union.
Yeah.
Which the chorus of that, at first we said, no, that doesn't make any sense. The first time it's sung, it's with a chord progression, and then it's totally the chord progression goes ahead of the line. I mean, it is like, what?
It was an interesting challenge.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, we're playing with Scott Emmons, and he's conducted people of all ages for years and years, so he was able to
My big challenge
get us on the same beat.
Right, doing a harmony, because you can't do the same harmony on the second one. Come on, Union. Right? So, anyway, right.
Yeah.
So simplicity and complexity combined, right.
Sandy, you were talking about some of the early days of Larry, like with the coffee house.
Right.
That's where I met Larry. I think it's where most of us met Larry, was through the coffee house and that community of people. I lost track how many times I saw Larry perform at the coffee house. Any memories of those early days of Larry performing around Milwaukee or other places that he played? Just what was Larry like? And there was a whole period of Larry Penn that I had no experience with. I met him in 1987, 89. That time period roughly. So there was a real early period that I only know about through his friends.
Right. Well, when thinking about remembering Larry performing, one thing that stands out in my mind is that there was no artifice. You know how some performers put on an act?
Yeah.
He didn't do that. He just wrote what he wrote and he delivered it, and he had that dry sense of humor that was, and he wasn't real verbose or anything, but anything he said between songs was a good introduction to a song. Yeah.
I think there was a real good lesson in that, exactly like what you said. It kind of taught me from watching, at least locally, watching Larry set up a song, gives a little bit of information, or in the middle of the song, weave into some kind of a story or some kind of a supplemental lore, folklore around it, that made the song even more than what it would have been all by itself had he not added any spoken stuff. Only later when I saw Larry at Pabst at which I think you guys went to, one of those May Day concerts with Utah Phillips, did it really come to life when I watched Utah Phillips do the same thing and really set up and deliver a song in the classic bard and troubadour, the very best way that you could really, bring out a song of Larry's. So, and another element to what he did, I think, is important is it wasn't just about his own music. He had some really great taste in what he covered, and had from old blues songs, to classic folk stuff, So, anything else you guys want to add?
I remember you say you met him around 87, and I think he was already getting pretty well established by then, because right in that era, I remember that he played at the Shawano Festival, and he was a real big hit. And everybody just loved him. So I'm sure it wasn't the only time he played there, but that I just remember that particular Shawano Festival.
Yeah, I think they grandfathered him in, and they
Grandfathered him in. How do you mean?
just that he wound up doing that festival a ton over the years that I became friends with him.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
over the decades, he was definitely a favorite there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got to do it one year with him, sort of as a team. We got to perform
cool.
there together when we came out with our record and all that stuff. So, so yeah. So, anyways, we want to thank Sandy and Ruth for sharing some memories and talk a little bit about Larry Penn, keeping the spirit alive.
You love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.